Hey guys. How's everybody doing? Hey guys. How's everybody doing? Oh, double audio. Get rid of that real quick. Alright, so like the title says, today we're going to build an M65-A. I can't remember what color it is. It's been a little while since I've taken a look at this one. Customer's build has been sitting in my queue for a little bit. But it should be pretty fun. I've never built an M65 before, so it looks really, really nice. Of course, like everything Rama's made. I'll pull it out over here. We're going to be using some T1s customer supplied that I lubed for him. Hopefully the customer's able to make it in, but either way, yeah, T1s. Yeah, T1s are pretty cool actually. I'll get a better look at them when we're on the at the solder station overhead, but I don't know. They seem pretty nice. I'm kind of curious to see what they're like in the board. I've seen them before. I felt them loose, just like this. And now that I've lubed them, they do feel a little bit nicer. I don't know. They felt pretty nice originally. However, I'm really curious to see what these are like in a board. And the customer kind of has an awesome board to throw them in. Awesome M65. I can't remember what color it is. This one's, I guess this is the moon color, right? The blue-green. Man, I love this packaging. Everyone always talks about how the Rama packaging is an experience, or the unboxing is an experience, and it kind of is. The packaging is truly nice. I'll put it back up like this until we're ready to start building it in earnest over on the soldering station. I'll throw it over there now. So I'm kind of excited to try these T1s out. I'm curious if anybody else has any experience using any of these T1s. I'm guessing some of you do. And as more people filter in, I'm sure other people will absolutely have more thoughts on them. Particularly, I'm curious what people think about the way they feel compared to Zelios and how that price kind of works out. Hey, what's up, Sim Guy? How you doing? Nice that you're able to join us. Yeah, so I don't know. Like I said, I'm kind of curious as to what people think of the T1s versus Zelios versus Holy Pandas. Hi, Tiny Shinny Crumb. How are you doing today? Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the price point is better. They seem to feel pretty nice. Try and check out how the wobble feels and all of that once it's in a board compared to some Zelios. Either way, I'm excited about it. Without too much more on that, we'll probably move over to the solder station, I think, and start unboxing this thing and get a real good look at it. See what kind of trouble we can get into. Hey, what's up, Foremost Bear? How you doing? Enjoying your guys' weekend so far, I hope. Nice to hear that you're doing well, Tiny Shiny Crumb. Sim Guy. Alright, so I'm going to switch over and we'll start working it. I think it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be a blast. Ooh, that video is blown out. So I was trying to adjust these levels, but if you use I'm gonna adjust it right now because it's terrible. If you use a webcam as your stream cam, especially if you use a Logitech, for anybody that decides to do this thing, you will find that color back. You will find that it doesn't save your settings in between. So usually I have to reset up this one camera and the one camera over there, because overhead here I have an A6000, and then over the shoulder over there is A7R2. So those just come up and work perfectly. Good. I'm glad to see that you're cool, man. Yeah, I'm excited to do this, Rama. I think it's going to be really nice. I think it's going to be fun. I'm pretty excited for it as well. Cleaning weekend, huh? Taking a break for keeps. Nice. It's a good thing to take a break for. Some keeps. Some good keeps. This is a good keep too. I actually like 65, by the way. I think it's a cool layout. I've liked it for a long time. Like I said, I have a hard time with 60% as a layout or anything smaller than that because, well, it just doesn't work for me personally. But 65 starts becoming usable. Anytime I get my arrows back and at least a little bit of control through some of the TKL keys, like these guys, it starts to work out pretty well for me. So the customer did send me a layout document, or a picture of what he wanted his layout to look like. So, pull this up. Specifically, he said, no stepped caps, no split backspace, 6.25 space. Yeah, so super straightforward. I just remember not to step the caps. Other than that, it's exactly as we pretty much expect. Oh, the audio. This will help if I move this over here. Audio is going to be better now. Probably a bit better. Anyway, start pulling this awesome keyboard out of its amazing packaging. I don't know, it really is good. Nice padded, or not padded, but nice box. This cool shape right here. So it looks really nice on the outside. Of course, it comes with a nice little cloth. Your bump-ons. These two long bump-ons that go on the bottom. PCB, and I'm guessing a plate in there. So the PCB is here. And then, yep. Oh yeah. And a plate. Look at this plate. This is pretty. Actually, does it have two plates? Let's pull the case out first. See if there's already a plate in it. No. Yeah, and I couldn't remember. What else do we have in here? I think that should be mostly it. Oh no. Hold on. That's not it. Right? What else do we have in here? Bunch of screws. Right, we're gonna need that. Wow, these are like velour on the bottom side, padded, so the weight is pretty lightweight, honestly. Yeah, and then that's just some extra packaging or paper that was wrapping up the plate. Okay, well, we've pulled out the bulk load of it then. So I'll set this off to the side. Look at this awesome case and this amazing color. Fairly sure this is the moon color. I'll look it up. This color, I'm trying to look at my camera and look at this. The colors are relatively accurate on this. On this camera right here. They may be just a little, the color temperature might be just a little bit too high setting on the camera. So they might be just slightly warmer. But this, the case color doesn't look too far off. It's quite pretty. Quite pretty. Right? Yeah, this is a beautiful case. I love that bezel. Set it in there for a moment so we don't scratch it up or anything. I like the bottom, these little blocks that the screws or the bolts mount into. Here where the weight goes on the bottom. Right here, and then the bump-ons go in. It's pretty nice. I don't know if customer is in the stream or not yet. I did let him know, but I kind of let him know last night that it might happen, and then I let him know pretty soon before the build. But if you're in, feel free to introduce that it's your board. This is a beautiful board. I guess I try not to build boards that I don't think are interesting, so I think all of my customers should be proud of their boards. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have taken the work. At least I would not have streamed it. At the very least, I would not set it up as a stream build. And I've only done that a couple times where I've taken somebody's work that I didn't stream. So it's not a thing I'm in the habit of doing or want to be in the habit of doing. Oh, hey, there you are. Yeah, man, this is a beautiful board. That's what I was trying to say. It's quite beautiful. So we're all kind of ogling your parts, your keyboard bits. The plate is pretty shiny. Quite nice. Yeah. Quite pretty. All right, so I'm gonna put this other part away. Some cardboard bits on there. I'm gonna put the top and the bottom back together since we're really gonna need the PCB and the plate to start. Man, that is nice. You know what? Before we go into, I'll put it on in a bit. I was gonna put the bump-ons on potentially like right away. You know what? I think I am, because I don't want it to get scratched. I mean, I'm not gonna set it down. I'm gonna put it back in its foam case, but better safe than sorry, right? Always. We're using blue today. Yeah, I was just commenting on your T1s when we very first started. How I like them. I like the way they feel lubed. I like the way they felt when they just came out of the box. I think they're kind of cool switches. I'm curious to see how they feel in your board. How I personally can kind of rank them up against Zelio V2s or Holy Pandas. I mean, I don't know. I'm always curious about stuff like that. So yeah, let's get these bump-ons though before we go in depth on anything, just to protect this beautiful, beautiful finish. I mean, like I said, it's always going to be on some kind of a padded material anyway, but you know, it can't hurt to just have it in place. Hey, Gucci, thanks for the 100 bits, man, or 300 bits. Thank you so very, very much. How did I end up lubing? So I lubed the switches the way I've been lubing V2 Zelios, the way that I've been lubing Holy Pandas. They felt very strikingly similar. How's it feel being number 2? Number 2. Maybe I didn't follow. Sorry, the only number 2 on my mind is the Key Cult. Oh, Tiny Shiny Crumb is now number 2 in bits. Yes. It happens. Thank you very much for taking the lead. I'm going to set up a leaderboard like a lot of people do. And Sim Guy, thanks for following, by the way. I didn't say anything about it, and I appreciate it. Oof. 400. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. I do, really. So anyway, back to the lubing strategy. So honestly, I lubed them just like I would lube V2 Zelios. They feel strikingly similar. They feel like they would take lube pretty similarly. And yeah, so I lubed them the same way, and they have the same kind of effect in feel too, after they were lubed, where they have just a slightly more buttery feel than they did before, and no real spring sound. That being said, the spring sound, in my opinion, actually was slightly better than Zelio V2's unlubed when the T1s were unlubed. But I did still lube the springs just like I normally do. So the way I lubed the springs is I used a pure 3204 grease, and then when I lubed the stems, I used 3204 and a very slight mix of GPL 106, which is an oil. So well mixed, just to lighten the grease up a little bit to try and preserve as much of that awesome tactility that they offer. Well played. Thank you guys for the bits. I really do appreciate it. Yes, so the Key Cult number 2 looks amazing. It is going to be first come, first serve. I think I'm going to attempt to get a stainless bottom one. I'm going to prioritize that one, I think. I don't know, the price is really high, so I'm kind of reluctant to try and do that. However, I'm thinking about it. I guess I'm not 100%, but I think that's what I'm going to try and do. In any event, if I can, I will get one. Yeah, I think it's going to turn out really well. It doesn't. I think the little bit of oil, it preserves a lot more of the tactility. It probably makes it a little less buttery than they would be otherwise. But the T1s felt really good. I don't know. They like Zelio V2s, right? I don't want to ruin the tactility that everybody buys them for ultimately. They felt pretty smooth, and they feel really smooth now too. We'll see what they're like actually in the board though. So yeah, your bump-ons are on, so that'll be a good little protection for the bottom. I cannot remember if they use the same. I think it does, right? Does it use the same bolts for the side pieces? I didn't think it did. No, it doesn't. Okay. So it uses these cap screws. There's a little tower there. Yeah, so it uses these cap screws for the plate mount, for the plate mounting. And then it uses these flat-headed, I'm trying to remember what this is called, countersunk. So it uses these countersunk screws for the side, which makes sense. Does it? Or does it? Because there's different length cap screws in here. Oh, this has to be for the top to bottom. Yeah. Yeah, that's what that's got to be for. So for the longer ones have to go right here. Yeah, that's obvious. Okay. Cool. 3 different kinds of screws. So let me get these side ones. Probably I should have like separated these before throwing them in here. That's okay. Nah, I'm not gonna do it right now. It doesn't matter, I'm not doing anything with it. I'm gonna put this back so that we can start building up your, well, testing your PCB and building up your board. Okay, so we'll bust this guy out, and I'll get my soldering mat out before we go too far. It's not explicitly necessary for this section, or for this segment of our build, however. Hey, how's it going? Tefram, how you doing today? It's great to see you back. I'm pretty generally happy. I've got some cool viewers that keep coming back and watching, and I'm really happy that that's the case. You guys brighten my normally Wednesdays, but the last couple days I've been doing not Wednesdays, so brightening my day. Hopefully I'm doing the same for yours. Okay. So I'll pull this PCB out. Ooh, got that underglow. Everything looks lit up. I don't want to shine directly into the lens. In fact, so this is the Atmega 32A. Okay, so this one should use Bootmapper client, as far as I know. Let me open up Bootmapper. Keymapper options off. Here, I'll actually give you guys a look at it too in just 1 second. Give you a window capture of it. Yeah. Okay, there we go. Ruh-roh, don't move that. I want to move this window capture. Shrink it a little bit. Anyway, so yeah. So I downloaded the key map. Yep, there we go. Anyway, so there's some Bootmapper stuff. We'll get those lights off. In fact, I'm going to turn them back on. I'm just going to turn the brightness down. I thought it was here. Yeah, it is. Yeah, there. So it doesn't blind you guys. Anyway, looks quite nice. Quite nice. We'll get off of this. Okay, and then we'll go to some switch hitter. because there are slightly better ones. So, you know what I didn't see in here? What's your stabilizers? Let's have your original box over here. Did you include them in the box with the Zelios? So I know you originally were planning on using Zelios. That's okay. We'll get it worked out. So, I've been asking all my customers, even if I've gone over it with them recently. My default is to do Band-Aid mods. However, I have seen plenty of people talking about not doing it later, so I want to give everybody the option to opt out of Band-Aid mod if that's Did I miss? No? Okay. Making sure I'm not missing anything. I have a feeling one of these is set up as FN down here. Very well could be. Yeah, I think it's probably this one right here. Yeah, it's probably that. Yeah, I'm fairly certain it is. I don't know why I'm jumping all over the board, but I am. Oh, I should pull up here so you guys can see. Also, I should do this. Kind of just jumping all over. You know what? I'm gonna stop hopping all over. Finish this one, and then I'll hit up the whole bottom row, and then go row for row like I should, like not a fool. Oh, yeah. Okay, so that's okay. Looks like all your spacebar spots seem to work, no matter what we do. And then you wanted like a, so that is not mapped. This one is shift. Okay, cool. course, sticky keys wants to come on this system because I haven't permanently turned it off. Yeah, I'm not worried about stabs. Sorry, I just read you appreciate it, man. Yeah, it's not. I keep most extra parts in case like somebody forgets something. Normally I check. Honestly, I opened your box and saw all the things that were supposed to be there looked like they were there. Didn't go too far in depth past that. Caps lock. That was the stepped caps position. Okay, caps. Okay, just making sure we're triggering correctly. Okay. Tab. QW. Cool. Did I already do escape? Okay. Did something else trigger escape? Just making sure. No. I must have hit it. Oh. Stuck on my tweezer. Got in there just a little sideways. Okay. That looks right. That looks like all the things we expect it to do. Yeah, so what I was asking before, do you want, since you're here, I don't even really need to go back to the dock, although I can. Do you want Band-Aid mod or not? You said you did not want on the original thing, so we will not do Band-Aid mod unless you change your mind. Let me find my GMK stabs. I literally just got some and I threw them in I left them in their box. Yeah, I literally just bought a bunch more. I know I have some in there, but I just bought new sets from KBD fans of GMK. Are they all GMK? They are. They just came in a different bag. It's weird. Anyway, so I ordered a KBD pad from them, the older one, in red to try and match my salamander. So soon I'll build that too. Yeah, that's fine. Which I'll give you guys a sneak peek because you're here right now, and we're not doing Band-Aid mod, which means just simple lube with the stabs. So this should be pretty quick. But yeah, it doesn't match perfectly, but it looks good. I'm tempted to get in on, and have been thinking about or trying to get in or wanting to get in on the KBD fans, the KBD 8X Mark II. But I think now I'm gonna wait and I'm gonna see what happens with that Key Cult number 2 before I jump on one of those. Because even though that's a lot cheaper, if I get on the Key Cult number 2, I don't know if I really want to fork out the dough for both of those at the same time. It's a little much. A little much. Anyway. Okay, so set that off to the side. Pull this out. I really need to change the text color right here so you guys aren't seeing it against background. I I need to do some stream updates real soon to my stuff. So there's a 625. And you wanted a bunch of not stepped anything, like straightforward. So I think you want one, two. Yep, that should be it. Let me check. Yeah, that's 625. Yeah. Yep, that's what I saw in your layout pick and description. Get rid of switch hitter since we're done with that. I'm gonna leave these. Stabilizers up real quick. Get them attached to the board. And I've been dealing with Zeals so much recently that I am assuming you want them clipped though, like tuned. That's, I mean, man, I can't remember the last time I built a board without. I think it was like one of the first boards I ever built. No, in fact, I don't know. I think cannot remember if I ever have built without clipping. Yeah. I mean, I quoted you for it. I'm just making sure since you're here. I know we were lubing them. Man, I can't remember. I don't know if I've ever built a board without clipping the stab legs. I mean, I know I've put a board back together that didn't have them that way. But like, it wasn't a customer board, it was a vintage board. I've rebuilt a couple of vintage boards. Like, exactly as they came apart. Just fixed something or did something else to them. Though I've done that on Alps way more than on something vintage cherry. Funny, I don't lube very many switches for people that aren't doing a build. So I had a previous customer who sent me a bunch of switches to lube up, and then I have this board and another one that required some lubed switches where I was lubing the switches for them as part of the build. And so I've been just like the last couple days in my not streaming and not working time watching TV and looping switches in the background. It's kind of crazy. Oh wait, I did not clip one of those legs. So it's just been a ton of switch lubing the last couple days in my off time. I don't know how everybody else lubes switches, if they lube switches at all, or if they just try and have somebody else do them or buy stuff already done in the middle of lubing Yachman. Nice. Yeah, I mean, you know, you gotta find that time to do it, right? I've done it while watching other people's streams, so it makes sense. It's a perfect time to do it. What are you gonna use your Yacht Pandas for? I'm curious. Like, what are you gonna build with them? Man, I can't wait to get that shipment of Krytox 205 for stabs. You're gonna... Oh, you jumped into the canoe release. Cool, man. That's awesome. I think that's a good board to put those in. It'll be nice. I mean, honestly, Yawks with Halo stems in them are pretty awesome in any board. I guess there's not really like a bad board to put them in. In my opinion. Yeah, I got some other keep stuff to do after this even. I'm gonna have to ship that board that I built last night. I need to invoice the customer, get the shipping all handled. I have another invoice and build to send out from, not that you guys have seen me, not that you saw me build, just some work that I did in the background for somebody. It's a previous customer, needed something adjusted, and same guy who sent a bunch of switches to be lubed. Anyway, that, and then I think I'm gonna try and offload. I think this is how I'm gonna try to fund. I mean, I guess I could fund it without it, but I'm gonna try and bolster my Keeb budget for the Key Cult number 2 by selling some stuff that I've kind of been whatever, that I should have been getting rid of for a while. Things that are cool, but just I don't use them, and I'm not going to really, because I have other things that I like a lot more. Like, I have a FC980C that I put BKE heavies in, and I lubed the sliders, and I put silencing rings in them. Actually, I put the heavy silencers, the BKE Redux silencers in them too, because they're heavier than the Silence X rings, and so if you're using the heavy domes, they're better. In my opinion, they silence more. So I oh yeah, thanks for posting that. I haven't updated the pictures on those yet. It is a tofu acrylic. Thank you, Tiny Shiny Crumb, for posting that. I uploaded the video this morning, and I took pictures of the board last night, like glamour shots of it, to post on the, in case the customer wants them or anything, but also so that I can post them on the YouTube and Twitch channel for the video, so you don't just see, like, when you see the face of the video, you don't just see like my soldering station or whatever. So I haven't updated that one yet, but yeah, it's a tofu acrylic, and it's pretty awesome. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna get that all done. So, you know, I mean, this is gonna be a keep-filled weekend for me, it turns out. Getting rid of some of the stuff that I'm not gonna use, though, it's a good idea, right? Like, I'm not gonna use, I like that FC980C, I don't love Topra, I guess. I thought I did. I thought I would really like a Topra board, and I did that, and it is super nice for Topra. It's just I it's good that I have the experience too doing it. I did not estimate properly how much time it was going to take me to build that FC980C. Like lubing Topra sliders is incredibly time intensive task if you've never done it before. And then using BK Redux, any of the weights, using those domes, it takes quite a while to place them, place the springs, lube the sliders. The holes have to be drilled out for MX caps. Oh yeah, I have JTK MX sliders on that board too, so like it's a fair bit of work to really tune Topra up. I don't know how many hours it took, but it was probably like 6 hours. It was like a whole weekend night. A little intensive. Yeah, that tofu acrylic, I was so looking forward to that. That was like a really cool, surprisingly cool build. I knew it was going to be cool to see it. I'm really happy I did. If I were into 60%, and I had like a whole underglow thing going on, or like a glow setup, you know, like all of my peripherals and PC and everything glowed a lot, I'd be all about it. Like I would get one, especially for that price. That like the value is high, the price is low, and the quality is pretty good, as per recent KBD Fans products, or that they have raised the bar on their products to be pretty good. I don't know what I'm doing there. Keep that in my hand. Yeah, I'll put that off to the side actually. So yeah, this board I've been looking forward to as well. I don't know, I guess I look forward to all of them, but this board I've been looking forward to, like, not so much the actual build as like the unboxing and showing that on stream, and then the holding it in my hands when it's done. Like the build is going to be cool. It looks really cool. The way it goes together seems pretty cool, but like I'm excited to see this one done. Yeah, put that one in backward. I don't know how you guys feel. Your first custom was a tofu, so a tofu hot swap or a tofu, the alu tofu that was fixed. Curious, right? Because I have a tofu hot swap, and that's one of the boards I'm going to get rid of. Actually, I'm going to get rid of everything I have that's hot swapped. I'm going to get rid of that, and I'm going to get rid of that Kira that I have. the Cure hot swap, the metal bezel. Just don't use it, and I don't see myself really using it. As much as I love 1800, I have no love at all for the 96 key layout. If anybody ever has questions, by the way, I mean, I just went over last night. I will go over it again if anyone had questions. But since I just went over it last night, I'm not going to say exactly the same thing today that I did last night. But if anybody needs to know how this stab lubing works, how the concept behind where you lubricate and all that, please ask. I will absolutely go over it again. It's absolutely critical. It's a big part of the reason that I want to do keyboard building on stream instead of just, you know, in the background, to make sure that those questions are answered. People know what we're doing here. You can kind of see just from where I'm applying the lube though, that it's only on contact points. Anywhere metal or plastic touch other metal or plastic. The normal alum tofu, then you picked up the HHKB tofu hot swap. Okay, yeah, so I have the Winkeyless tofu hot swap. It's nice. It's actually a really great product. I don't know if other people had the same problems that I had with it when I received mine. My first top piece didn't have, or actually bottom piece, didn't have the holes threaded all the way down, which, you know, whatever, that's some kind of a defect. But also, and I never even told KBD fans about it, so they didn't have an opportunity to try and make it right. I'm sure they would have if I had, because I just fixed it on my own. Is the weight that I had, the weight that slides back and forth to allow you to use the right or left USB-C, was warped, so it wouldn't fit into the slot. It wasn't warped a lot, just a little bit. So what I did is I took a flat block with some sandpaper and literally just ran that across there and hand fitted that thing back in. It wasn't even that it was warped, it was actually just a little bit too wide in the middle and a little bent. It was really weird. But I already had the one problem with it that they did make right, which was the bottom not being threaded appropriately. So by the time I got it, I was just like, I'm just gonna build this thing. I will hand fit it myself. I haven't heard of a lot of people having issues though, so I have to imagine that I just got the bad luck on that draw. That's all right though. Hopefully the universe will make up for it by allowing me into the Key Cult 2, number 2 buy. Not sure it works that way, but I want into that buy. If I can, I want in. It's gonna be wicked cool. If anybody doesn't know what I'm talking about, feel free to look up the Key Cult number 2. I love the way they hid all of the screws internal to the case. I mean, you gotta remove some keycaps to get the case apart, but that's okay, because you see literally nothing of screws or anything. It's just like a sealed object. And I've messed around with some of my own designs in CAD, and I like the isolation mount they have. Is very similar to something I started drawing up on my own like 4 months ago. I mean, their board is different, don't get me wrong, but the way that their plate fits together in there and the way that they have isolation padding, gaskets, whatever you want to call them, in there is very similar. So I'm super excited for it because I never like manufactured or anything like that, or even a proto. I just kicked it around on CAD, and these guys have, by all accounts, just a better board than the junk that I described, even if it has a similar mounting method. Their board looks amazing. So I want one because I want to have one. There's a few things that I want to jump in on. I wish that everything wasn't dropping at the same time right now, and I also wish that some of the things I want in on had like really defined timelines. Like some of it's like people are gonna drop them, you know, when they get around to it. But if I knew exactly when they were gonna release, you know, I'd be like, make sure that I have exactly the right amount of funds available for such a thing. I'm sure everybody's in it. Did I see the Lube Granite Wonderland GB? So I opened it in the background in a tab, but I have not even looked at it yet. If you post the link though, I will pull it up and look at it while we're chatting. The things I'm looking forward to right now that are public, there is a private Alps thing that might be going down that I'm really into, but I don't know exactly when that'll happen. The public things that I'm into that I kind of want to get in on are the Irma. It's probably number 1. Key Cult number 2 might be number 1, and the Irma might be number 2. Number 3 is definitely that the KBD 8X V2 and a pad. And I'm having a real hard time deciding exactly what colors and stuff I would want. But if I end up getting in on those other 2 boards, probably I'd just get the polycarb so that I'd have a cool polycarb board. TKL. Cool. I think that should be about it for the lube. Since we're not doing any band-aids. Nice. I will open that in just a second. I need to... Oh yeah, I joined their Discord too. I just didn't look at the... Yes, I did. Okay. No. I did see this, and it was like $140 or something like that, right? Let me scroll down to the bottom. Did it say... I think they had an estimate somewhere in here. I don't want to read it too long, but it was something like that. Like super budget friendly. Like, yeah, exactly. Super budget friendly. It's basically... Yeah, it's basically an Alice, but it doesn't have the bottom is straight, not angled like the Alice, right? Let me open that back up. I'll go back to the pictures. Yeah, so the bottom row is angled, but the bottom of the case is not, and it's transparent. I don't know what colors I would do. I think I might just do like completely transparent if I did that thing. Personally. That might be the way. So apparently the music stopped. We're gonna get that going again. You know, maybe we'll get it going again. Cheerful. No, that says cheerful and advertising. Let's not do that one. Find a new playlist, guys. Sorry. I wonder if chill is any good. Let's go to chill. It might be lame. We may have to change it. We'll give it a few minutes, maybe even a couple tracks. See where it gets. See if we like it. Okay. Oh wait, huh? There we are. Like, why aren't we getting into where we need to be? Okay, so there's definitely the potential to short on these. So let's get the appropriate doodads. Yeah, that's like a surprisingly budget-friendly option. Surprisingly budget-friendly. Weird, they threw all the screws in this one. I don't know if I even have any 625U stab wires anymore. I don't know. This might be like the only one I have right now. No, I've got to have at least one or two. I'm not sure they're GMK though. That's the problem. Which may or may not matter that much, but I'll have to look at them. Excess that I pulled out yesterday. Of course, I'm one short. Okay, over. Move that out for a sec. Come on. So, you know, isolation mount stuff is pretty cool. That's part of why I'm looking forward to that. This Alps board right above me with the Dolch keycaps on is technically a type of isolation mount because I custom did its mount. It has on the bottom plate of that thing. So it's similar to the M65 in that the shell goes on top of a bottom piece. And in this case, because I'm using an LFK, these washers are, no, they're that, whatever that is, off of Amazon special. Yeah, let me put that back up there for a second. They're not UXL as far as I know. They're a nylon material. Yeah, I always use insulator washers if there's anything like this one right here that I screwed in. You can see there are two LED cathode and anode holes right there that it absolutely would be touching. So so this board has neoprene strips that affix it to the bottom, so a lot of what you hear is just the resonance inside the case, not it slapping the case itself. It's kind of cool. I like it. Anyway, yeah, that was good story, huh? Good story. Just playing with you guys. There's only one there, but I don't want it to short to ground either. And that one switch hole. So we'll put one there. There are traces not under that other screw hole, so technically we could just not use a washer, but these washers are super cheap, so I'll just use them. Since I used one on the other side, it goes right here. Yeah, but I'm a fan of that isolation mount. I want to check that out. I'm getting it on another board that is isolation mount. It's part of a private group buy I'm already in too, so it's going to be exciting to be a part of those cool boards. I really like the type of mounting, personally. So, man, there's a lot of holes there. Are there other things? No. This is actually a cool PCB, and there really are only so many slots that you can put stuff in on it. So many layouts that these stabs can go in anyway, which makes it convenient for this, not having to fit a lot of stuff. Probably we still need to fit the bottom row, but you know, that's okay. Okay, this chill music is pretty chill, but might be a little too chill for me. I don't know. You guys chime in if you want me to change it or not, because I probably will change it on my own in a few minutes. If not. Like, there's nothing that can short out directly here, but there are traces under adjacent areas. And so we're just going to put the... we're just going to put down a washer. Yeah, I'm not digging this music. It's changing soon. All right. So now for the money, does the bottom have it called out? So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's 3 positions that it can be in. And I'm gonna go with, I guess, I'm guessing it's this one. I am fairly certain that oh no. Ah, don't do that. Solder station. I'm looking at it right. I'm fairly certain it's right there. Yeah, it's that one. I am pretty confident I'm gonna screw it in and I'm gonna verify after it's there, but hopefully I don't have to screw another one in. Always verify, you know, just you do not want to have to resolder it after you like put it all together and go get caps on it and stuff, and then you're like, oh, nope. But I'm fairly certain it's that one. There we go. Finally bit in. Okay. All right. I'm gonna grab a cap set. You know what? I think you guys can choose something different if you want, but I think that I want to put monochrome on this. I have most of monochrome on something else, but we'll pull it off in the end. But I should have the 6.25 U caps or spacebar and the bottom row in here. So we are gonna do this. That looks good. Here is how we verify it. Yep. Okay. So that bottom side is correct. The plethora of keycap GBs. So I've joined some so far. I haven't joined 9s yet, but I'm going to. I haven't joined waves yet, but I believe I'm going to. What else am I missing? I know I'm missing some stuff. Feel free, list them all. I can't think of them all off the top of my head, but Metropolis. I'm not probably going to get in on Metropolis, especially not if I do Key Cult. Metropolis is not really my jam. It's not. I'm not against Metropolis in any way. I think it's a beautiful set. It's just money-wise, it's not my jam out of the options that are available to me and how much money is available to me. The desk mat's really cool. I might get that, but that's $15, so I am not so scared. You know what? I'm gonna go wash my hands to try and get this lube off before I do this thing. I'll be right back. Yeah. So what I was saying, Metropolis, yeah, waves would look awesome. That or Solarized Dark, which I almost bought the other day. Like I don't know. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful cap set. In any event, Solarized Dark would look awesome on this, in my humble opinion. Okay. Have you thought about Solarized Dark? It's almost kind of made for this. I think Waves is a prettier cap set, but Solarized Dark would probably be the most matching set directly for this. The problem with Metropolis is for me, is I don't want the colorful mods. I would want the I don't remember what it's called. The basically the one that makes it kind of monochromatic. And like that's a lot more money. So I believe that I probably will not do it, especially given all the other group buys this month. Man, there are other cap sets that I'm trying to think of that came out recently. Oh, what's the one that's on Mass Drop right now that they released? Eclipse, right? I think I'm gonna get in on that. I'm not 100% sure yet, but I'm probably gonna try. Eclipse looks nice to me. I like that colorway. Nines is definitely on the list, and for the price and compatibility, I mean, it's just got to be. Mizu is a thing that I want to get up on, so I'm not gonna let other stuff get in the way of that. Mizu is absolutely on the list, but that's next month, really. There's a lot of really good stuff going on right now. And I realize for some people now is a great time because they're getting a tax return, a refund. I'm not. I did get bamboozled in the Oblivion V2 April Fool's joke. I totally did. And I am not afraid to admit it. I was like, yes, 10% discount? Okay, thanks. I did get minimal. I got every set of minimal. Full size compatibility, yo. I kind of like the minimalist colorways in general. If you haven't noticed, right, I have like Signal and monochrome, obviously, white on black. I like simple colorways that are classic. What I didn't jump in on, and I'm an absolute fool, is Hamon, but I am gonna jump in on it when they come out. Like the moment someone sells one, and there will be a lot of it because, you know, there's a lot of the sets sold. I'm gonna jump on one. I just hope I can get all the sets that I want. I also jumped in on, by the way, things that I'm excited about. I got in on Shoko. I believe that not very many people got in. I did get on Modern Dolch, yes. So I'm waiting ever so patiently for that one. I'm trying to be patient anyway. Not ask a million questions. I got in on Calm Depths, which I actually feel like the SA Calm Depths looks better, and I have a feeling that Calm Depths is kind of going to be like the GMK Carbon, where it's like the lesser of the Carbon sets. However, I don't care. I'm still excited for it. I am. It's gonna be good. Modern Dolch, man. Modern Dolch is gonna be awesome. I'm gonna try and pick up the spacebar extras for Modern Dolch, which I did not jump in on when it was running. Am I going the wrong way? There we go. So what else? What have you gotten in on that you're looking forward to? That you're excited about? Because I'm sure if you're talking about all these ones, you're excited about some of them. Did you get in on Modern Dolch? Are you looking forward to Modern Dolch? Okay, I'm gonna try to make sure that I can get these other ones settled in. You're excited to get minimal? Yeah. Yep, I agree. Minimal is going to be beautiful. I don't have pristine, so I'm very excited for minimal, personally. Oh, what did you want on this, on the right side of this? I have your layout thing over here, but it does not show, if I recall correctly, that side of the board. Do you want, you must just want 3 1Us. Or do you want 2 1.5Us? That's important. Because the picture you showed me only has the left side of the board. If it's what I'm thinking. If I'm looking at the right thing. So right here, do you want 2 1.5s? Or do you want 3 1Us? Because those are the layouts that are supported. 2 1.5s. Yep, cool. That's easy enough. That is easy enough. Okay, so that goes in the leftmost one. Perfect. Okay. Bottom row layout accomplished. I would want 2 1.5s also. And that's what I would have defaulted to if you weren't in here. Okay. I'm gonna move this out of the way. Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff going on right now. So yeah, I'm guessing for people that are getting a fat tax return, like if I were this year, I would totally be fine with all of that. The temp went up a little bit. Well, you know what we need to do? Turn this fan on. Hopefully it doesn't get too loud. Ooh, looks like it's a little loud. Okay, let me know if that's stupid loud. Hopefully it isn't. That looks a little bit better. Okay, that still gets me, but it doesn't pick the fan up quite as much, it looks like. Okay. So, yeah, I think of all of those sets, the one I'm kind of most looking forward to personally, I don't know, it might be Nines, honestly. I don't know, that Eclipse is pretty awesome, though. Oh, no, I take it back. It's Mizu. It's Mizu, for sure. But of the ones that are going on and mostly just taking place in this month that I'm not already in on, that I'm planning on, it's Nines. Nines or Eclipse. But of the boards I'm getting in on that are public, that I'm going to try and get on at least, probably the Key Cult number 2. But I think with that first come first serve thing, it's going to be pretty hard to get in. I'm definitely going to attempt it. I'm going to try and get in on that, and then I'm going to, if I don't, I'll try and get on the lottery. And luckily the lottery, it's all going to go so quick that I'll know, shortly thereafter. So I'll know if those funds are then available for a completely different thing, for a different project altogether. It's not like there's going to be a shortage of cool key projects this year. I think we are not at risk for that at all. I see no risk at all personally in it. Mm-hmm. All right. Let's get the rest of these switches in, since we've tacked down a bunch all over places that we want them to be. Yeah, next time I'll have to pull up a list. Next week I'll have to pull up a list of literally all the things that I'm planning on going in on and that are out and about. I'm thinking about that clear sandwichy Alice thing, but it's not at the top of my list, even though it's really cheap. If it were the difference between getting and not getting one of those sets that I really want, like Mizu or something, and the Key Cult #2, I would skip it to get those. Yeah, man. I pray that I do too, and if I don't, I pray that somebody has me build it for them, at least. But I do want one. I do actually just want one. It's a somewhat end-gamey build. I mean, any like true full end game board for me is Alps compatible also, which is kind of why I'm one reason that I'm excited about the Irma, right? Alps and ultra high molecular weight polyethylene, both things that I like. Granted, I've never had a board made out of ultra high molecular weight polyethylene, but I am excited about the possibility of having one. Quite excited. Yerp. Yeah, this build is not going bad at all, man. It's pretty quick. It's really pretty. This plate is really pretty, and I'm surprised at how flexible this brass plate actually feels for how heavy duty it feels. It actually feels like it's got a lot more give than I usually experience in brass, which is great, in my opinion, because one of the biggest downsides to brass, well, one of the biggest downsides in a lot of people's minds is that while it's not quite as bad as steel, it might as well be that hard when you're slamming your fingers down on it. And this seems to actually flex quite a lot more than I usually get. Or I feel like I normally notice. Oh, something else I'm looking forward to that I'm in on. The Punchy 1800. They're like really bad about giving any information about when it will actually be here, but someone every now and then who's in contact with the people in China making it posts pictures in their Discord channel, and it appears as though they're either undergoing or probably by now done with Anno, and I'm in on that. And I also got in on the copper plate. Punchy 1800. The Punchy 1800 is an 1800 board that you can get with, is it brass? I think it's brass plate, and if you opted for it, copper. I bought both options. I think it was brass and copper. It's not Alps or anything. It's standard MX, and it does not have an underside weight. But it's 1800, so it's probably going to be fairly hefty despite all of that. And I am looking fairly forward to it actually coming out. And I kind of hope / expect that it will be out soon. I mean, it's gone. They've all been manufactured apparently, and are either have been or are being anoded. So I mean, there isn't a ton more steps, I hope, than that. But it's kind of exciting, I believe. Mostly because I like 1800 layout in general. And it may not be the like super most premium thing ever. It's no Key Cult number 1 or 2. It's no Salamander or anything. In fact, it might not even be as good as the, even though it's 1800 different, even though it's apples to oranges, it might not even have as nice of a finish and final product appearance as the KBD 8X V2. I don't know, but it will at least be nice, I'm sure. So that's that board. That's the thing that I'm hoping will come soon. I really can't wait to get that modern Dolch. Oh, another thing that I'm excited about, keycap wise though, is the EPVT Granite that Heine's run. I don't know where he's at in it, but it sounded like it wasn't too far off, honestly. And that kind of is exciting to me. Honestly, everything that guy makes is pretty cool, from what I can tell. His boards, his PCBs are good. Can't wait for the HBCP, his 1800 compact layout, whenever he decides to do that. I'm sure that'll be good. But of things that he's actually made so far, awesome stuff. EPVT Slate, or is it Slate? It's Slate, right? Whatever. Now I'm all sorts of confused. You'll have to look it out. You'll have to look it up. I don't have a keyboard attached right now, but yeah. Can't believe that I'm spacing on this right now. It's been a long week. It's been a really long week. I got stuck in the Minneapolis airport Thursday morning. Let's say Thursday morning. Whatever. Wednesday night into Thursday morning. So heinebush.com products, EPVT Slate. So let me, boom, copy that and paste it in there. I like PVT, so I like PVT caps. I think they feel great. Don't get me wrong, I like ABS also. I like stuff Signature Plastic makes, and I like stuff, or Plastics makes. I like stuff GMK makes. I also like PVT, and I think ePVT makes some decent stuff. I like the feel of PVT in general under my fingers also, so. And I think that their sets have been getting pretty clean lately. So I'm looking forward to... I can't believe I said granite. Oh, I was looking at DSA granite. Somebody had posted some DSA granite recently, and I was like, maybe I should get that. I think that's why I was derping in my mind. Trying to figure out what other equipment I should get. I'm tempted to replace my webcams on both of my setups with better mirrorless cameras. Or maybe even like what's it called? Maybe even a camcorder style that does clean HDMI out. It probably would be better if I just moved to a single streaming setup, because I would require half as many cameras. It's kind of nice having a dedicated solder station that isn't my computer desk. I guess I could just not involve my regular computer desk in this. But that's what it's not like I have a ton of build profits or anything like that, but that's kind of what they've been going into. Supplementing camera equipment and stuff. Like I bought this overhead camera to replace a webcam that was looking over this station before, and I believe that the quality looks a lot better, personally. To anybody that watched any of my older stuff, I guess they could comment if they wanted to, but I have a feeling it looks better. It does to my eye. You think the dual cam look is nice? It's cool to see what's going on from multiple angles. Yeah, I think so too. You bought EPPT 9009. You're SIG another. It's good. Yeah, I have EPPT 9009. I don't remember which round it is. I think it's round 3 on a KVD 75, which is actually a board that I'm considering getting rid of as part of this purge of things that I mostly don't use. Which is funny, because I actually like the layout kind of a lot of 75, apparently. I think I like the 65 more, though. because I don't really need the F row, especially when I can function layer the F row. It's got to be some of the least used keys on my keyboard. I guess we can look at it. Let's see if we see anything we didn't hit. Damn it, there is one. Of course there's one. Delete. Yeah, thanks. It does, I think, seem to be a little bit better quality. Okay, let's pull up switch hitter, clear that out, let's see what we get. Good sign all those light up still. So you see that there's no up arrow because we did that. So I hope you know what it is that you want to map to here. I hope that you didn't actually want 175 and 1 there. Because if you did, that's going to be a problem. Just the default mapping is arrows right here. Because if you do want that, I literally have to desolder the whole board. Man, that is pretty. It's got a bunch of fingerprints on it right now, but I'll wipe those off before we go too far. I mean, I did say, okay, we're doing the standard ANSI, but I did not. I should have reiterated it since you're here and we were talking about it. You gotta let me know, though, if you need that to be different. I know. I was just looking at it. I was like, I have these arrows, but not that arrow. I mean, I know we discussed, yes, we'll just do this standard ANSI layout. And specifically not to split any of these things, but I have a feeling it's not going to look as amazing that way as it would with an up there. Yeah, which one? And that glow is pretty. Yeah, if you want the up arrow, I kind of just built it as per what we discussed, and I didn't even think about it myself. I was like, now that I'm looking at it though, I'm like, you have this. Kind of depends on what you want to use it for. Now is the only time to really make that decision, though. I mean, we should have made it before that, but... Alright. Okay. Yeah. Wish it had been clear before, but that is alright. We will be okay. This will be hot in a second. It's still heating up. That's why that's red. Just FYI. It's close. Hopefully this isn't crazy loud for everybody. I'm sure it's not quiet. Does not want to come off. Not plugged or anything. Doom. There we go. That should melt. We will be okay. It's just going to be a little while longer than I wanted it to be. Super talkative right now, guys. Trying to focus real hard on getting the desoldering pump into the hole correctly. Pins into the holes. Yeah, this thing is a freaking beast. I don't know. I hear people say that the eBay special options are just as good or are good. And I believe that they are good if you're not doing continuous duty stuff. But this thing gets up to temp and stays at temp pretty well. So yeah, I'm trying to figure out which of these pins are holding on. Because there are a couple, I'm sure. Because I don't want to just pull them free. I don't want to damage the board. I don't want to pull all the switches either. I don't have to. This might actually take longer than this step, but realigning all these switches will take a while too. And I don't mean these alphas. What is it that I just did? Oh, okay. So what I just did is I made sure that each individual pin wasn't binding on the board by actually wiggling each one. So I'm guaranteeing that there's no solder actually attaching to the pads, because I don't want to pull the pad or the through-hole part of the pad off of the board and delaminate it. Because if you're going to lift up on the board like this, that's what you're actually putting at risk. So anytime you feel any binding when you do something like that, you need to stop. Like, that's not a thing you want, right? So like I can lift up on this. There's a lot more friction on this board already, and that is one reason why. That E-hole. So even though it moves, there's actually some solder still in that hole. So what we're going to do is we're going to add solder so that this desolder gun can reflow that well. There we go. Okay, and it's up to temp. All right, I'm gonna let it flow. And then we're gonna put this on here. The alternative literally is to pull every single one of the actual switches out, which could be done. Maybe even should be done. Yep, there we go. So it's kind of an advanced way of doing it. And part of the reason that I'm doing it this way is because I do not actually want to reset up every switch position on this bottom row. That's really what I'm worried about. You know what though, the thing is this board's never been soldered to before, so I know exactly what pads were used. So I'm actually just gonna pull them. After all of that, I'm pulling them anyway. At least on this top row. Till I find what's binding. There it is. I can actually see it. Okay, just got the same problem. Yep, just kidding. Okay. And all those pads still look really good. So, all of that for this thing right here. Yep, no problem. I mean, the long pull is actually now resoldering all this back together. It's okay. So every time I do a customer board, I ask exactly what layout is wanted. Just FYI in the future for everyone else. And I put in my quotes a disclaimer about how I'm going to go off that thing that you send, and if that ends up not being what you wanted, then I'm sorry. So the reality is, though, if the customer's in here, I guess if they change their mind, I'll try. Normally, I actually charge the same amount to desolder the board as I do to solder it, because it takes about the same amount of time realistically, but that's okay. We got this one. I should have double, triple, quadruple checked on this one because it's an M65 and the layout didn't sound like the thing to do. I didn't really think too hard about it though once we got to the actual build, because we were all in here and doing it, but it's okay. Live, learn. Next time I build a 65 or anything like it, I will double, triple check. Double, triple, triple. Yeah, Hacko FR301 is awesome. Sorry about that. It's a really good soldering or desoldering iron. eBay ones, you know, yeah, this one is gonna last for a long time. Probably it will outlast me being in this hobby, which is to say it'll last a really long time. They're extraordinary. Don't get me wrong, parts fail, you have to service it, but it should be all mostly used serviceable, and Hacko actually sells all of the parts for more in-depth servicing anyway. I mean, in theory, you should be able to rebuild basically all of this thing. Okay. Try this again. Try this one more time. Yeah, if anybody's gonna get one of these, I highly recommend the Hacko. A desoldering iron in general is good. Don't bother with the pump thing, the little hand plunger pump thing. I actually think those are problematic for a number of reasons. We're going back to the fan. Oh yeah, man. We're gonna make this right. I don't want my customers' boards to not turn out right. That's not okay. I wouldn't want it if it were mine to be wrong, so. I will not make my customers have bad boards either. That's not okay. It's definitely not how you get repeat business either. Not that that's why. But you can solder full-size keyboards in about 20 minutes. Saves me so much time, but I would only say if you're going to be desoldering a lot. Yeah, agreed. But if you're in the hobby and you're gonna be soldering and desoldering pretty quick, I would do it this way. I would use a desoldering gun. Also, that desolder or solder. Did you say desolder and resolder? Just desolder. Yeah. I mean, you can desolder them a lot quicker if you don't care about salvaging the board afterward. Right? Like if you're just harvesting something that's trash after you're done with it. I know a lot of people are against that methodology, but... Oh, yeah. That sounds right. Unless it's an old Apple keyboard with Alps and you're trying to save it, the PCB, then welcome to taking forever. Right? I'm surprised it's the first time you've heard of a desoldering gun. Yeah, they're the way to do it, man. Don't desolder with wick or a hand pump. Not like a whole board, anyway. If you don't have to. I mean, if it's all you've got, it's all you got, right? But... going fast. Yeah, as I would actually argue that your desoldering methodology is more important than your soldering methodology if you're going to be involved in this hobby for any real time. Not methodology, but equipment. Because it's really easy to get hold of decent soldering equipment for very inexpensive. There's a lot of options that are worthwhile. I mean, but your desoldering equipment, there are way fewer good options. It's basically this one, and then like $100 or 80 to $100 version on eBay if you just want to do a few boards. %, of the keyboards you do solder, you discard. Yeah, well, if you wanted to desolder something like an M0110 or something, I mean, you can save those old boards. I have desoldered whole old Alps boards and not busted up the pads. Like, it just takes a lot of patience and care. You have to go real slow and be real gentle. And the big problem there, guys, and this is why, by the way, pay attention to your soldering methodology here. When you solder components onto a PCB, even if they're through-hole components, I repeat, even if they're through-hole components, please, please, never, for your own sake or the sake of whoever has the board after you, ever bend the pins on the back side of the PCB. Always leave them straight. If you think to yourself, you're like, well, I have no good way of fixing this component, this through-hole component, to the back side of the board so that I can solder it, please, I urge you, use tape. If it's going to get hot, they make Kapton tape. You can get it. It's not even that expensive. It's not cheap, but it's not that expensive. And if you bend the pins over as they exit the back side of the board, you bend them over to keep them in place. I'm not saying that it won't work. It will work. And I'm not saying that it's 100% always the wrong thing to do, but in our community, using the types of boards that we use, unless it's like a super replaceable board, I cannot urge you any more strongly not to do that thing, because it will invariably lead to pad lift when someone goes to desolder, especially if they're not using the right equipment. Even if they are using the right equipment, if they're not being extra gentle, that will cause pad lift. If you're soldering LEDs to your board, through-hole LEDs, or you have a board that has through-hole diodes that you need to solder, that's somewhat common. Or a Pro Micro or something like that, especially if you were doing a Pro Micro. Do not bend. Do not bend them. Because the thing that he's talking about old Apple boards and stuff like that being trash afterward, the reason that they're that way is because when Apple built those boards, they bent all the little Alps legs over on the back side of the board. On Apple boards, it seems like sometimes it's like every or almost every pin. It might not be every, but it's a lot of them, a very high percentage. Okay, so that should be done. Okay, let's try this again. Switch hitter, reset clear. Shift up and correct. Okay, good. If you want to test out for yourself, pick up an Apple M35 Yeah, I mean, you can't always get an M3501, ML115. Definitely not an ML115 for 40 bucks. Probably not an ML116. I'm talking eBay prices. You're not going to get them for that much. Not right now. Maybe an ML116 with salmons, maybe if you're lucky. An M3501, probably not. Definitely not an ML115. Not with salmons, not with oranges for sure. But you can get them in other places for that much. So here is an Apple IIc with amber alps. And this is actually not very bad compared to the boards that he just mentioned. Let me get rid of switch hitter. So this is actually not that bad, but you can see that there's a fairly, not a high number, but like bent over, bent, bent. That's just on the bottom row. So 4 of the 9 switches on the bottom row, right? So I mean, they bent over a lot. Anyway, let's get this actually starting to assemble, right? Because now we know that it's right. We've tested it. We're good with it. So let's actually get this thing assembled. So I'm going to try to clean up some of the lube and or fingerprints that are coating the plate. It's not going to be perfect because I'm still going to touch the plate. Really, it's never going to be perfect because you're going to touch it as you put caps on and stuff. What did you say? Oh, what am I doing with those ambers? Well, you see, to everyone other than you, Gucci, it's a secret. To you, you can just guess that it's gonna go on something I think we've discussed before. Such is my intent. Probably. So, I have those, but I also have these ambers. So I have enough. All right, anyway, we're gonna get this thing kind of put together. I can stay up there for now. Yeah, I don't really harvest for other people for the most part. If that's what you're getting at, Tiny Shady Crumb, send it to someone else to do. Oh, yeah, I'm definitely not gonna have somebody else harvest for me because I have that. I will harvest for someone else. However, it's not like I don't really want it to become the bulk of my business or anything like that. Like I said before, I pretty much try and build things that I think are cool or that I want to play with. Yeah. Boom. So pretty. So pretty. So pretty. This really is a pretty board. Yeah. So, I mean, I wasn't gonna announce that or anything. I definitely wasn't planning on saying it, but since you ask, that's what I'm planning on doing with those. Don't worry, guys. That means there will be an Amber Alps build in the future. I actually need to get more Brown Alps for another build that I plan on doing at some point. Not the immediate future. It will be months down the road. So I'm taking my time trolling for good prices on 5140s, etc. Plenty of other boards, but 5140s are probably the biggest. Hey, you know what, man? It's no biggie. I'm not in a rush. In fact, yeah, whatever. I don't want to go too in depth. You get to talk about whatever you want here. I think it's a 2.5. These look like 2.5s, not 2s. They are. Just for the record, I need a 2.5 narrow socketed, or like with a long stem. I'll show you what I mean. I think I'm actually going to need a 2, so I'll pull the 2 back out, right? Something in here I think is 2. Yeah, the side ones are 2, so I'll leave this right here for you guys to see. Okay. I do not know what this song is, but I will change it momentarily because it does not interest me. So for anybody that's wondering why I said I needed to, probably I need to get some Weehaws. Probably I need to get some Weehaws, but this is what I'm talking about. So if you look at this for a moment, you notice that this is narrow on this shaft for a long distance, and this is not. So when you use this 2.5, it's way more likely that this fatter section of this shank will rub against the recessed hole that most customs have their stuff in. So you have to be really careful and gentle not to rub away some ano, whereas with these you get to go a lot faster because you're not so worried about it. I need a deep socket or a goosenecked, I don't know what to call that thing, 2.5 hex, because this is a 2 and I have a 3, but the only 2.5 I have is this narrow one. Anyway, are these? I know these are ferromagnetic, so let me find my little magnet, my magnet dealy to magnetize this. Hopefully. Sorry if that's loud, guys. Cool. Yeah, DHL is not my favorite, man. DHL is not my favorite. Yeah, on this board, not having the narrow shank is not a big deal because you don't really come too close to that. And actually there are ano defects on all 4 corners of the inside of that. No, on 1, 2, 3, not on this corner. Minor, like insignificant that you wouldn't notice. But either way, it doesn't matter. The neck on this doesn't sit far enough down for it to matter. How much play is there side to side? Almost none. Okay, I'm just going to tighten those 4 corners down then. So yeah, I like Amber Alps actually. I like browns and I like ambers a lot. I think that they're my 2 favorite Alps switches overall. Though I like blues and I like whites. And I like oranges. I don't really like salmons very much. I actually like blacks more than I like salmons in my experience. I find more good consistent blacks because they're so abundant. A lot of salmons that I get for whatever reason feel a lot scratchier than I like. I have cream. I have an SGI Bigfoot. Like, literally in my closet back there. Cream damped, yo. They're good. I still don't like them as much as brown or ambers or blues or whites. That being said, I'll caveat the whites with SKCM, so complicated whites, and I'll caveat it even more with extraordinarily clean. I think that extraordinarily clean whites feel almost identical to good clean blues, and I did jump in on that NOS whites order, which I cannot freaking wait for. Oh, okay. The contemporary to blue, yes. I don't think I have any. Also, what I haven't used is neon greens yet. I mean, I've touched them, but I haven't, I don't have a board with it, and I haven't played too heavily with them. So I think, yeah, it's all on the outside on this guy. Do I have all the correct bolts? I feel like there's supposed to be more bolts in here. How does that weight affix? Because the only pan head screws that you got are the only pan head screws that you got are the ones that I believe are for the outside. Oh, it doesn't use pans. Okay, I'm wrong. That's what those are for. They're for this weight. They are absolutely for this weight. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. In fact, before we do anything with this weight, let's just put those side ones in. Yeah, 2, 4, 6, 8 of the long ones. I'm guessing you have at least like one extra. 2, 4, 6, 8. Nine. Yeah, okay. I see what they're doing. I see what they're doing. So I'm just loosely affixing these, by the way. I always do this where I loose fit this and then I start torquing them down afterward, right? Because I don't want to, I just want it to be torqued down appropriately and I want it to be centered on all the boards that I build. You're getting neon greens? Yeah, dude. Absolutely. I'm totally down. I've not really played with them much. They're cool. They seem good. But I don't know. Let me, if you get the opportunity or you are feeling the urge to have somebody else build them, absolutely hit me up. I'm definitely down. I've looked, I've seen boards go post, and I am absolutely tempted to get them. It's just some of those boards are real pricey. I guess if you find a good deal on any neon green boards, feel free to ping me about those. Because I know at least I can sell it if I hate them, although I'm sure I won't hate them. And I like vintage boards, so I wouldn't get rid of them anyway, but... Okay, so how much play do we have side to side on this top piece with all of these loose? It's not much, to be honest. If I'm being real honest, it is not very much. I will say this board is very solidly affixed top to bottom. Like, it is not going anywhere. Alright, let's get this weight on here. They're overpriced. $8 a switch is terrible. NOS ones. Whoa. Yeah, you told me about this board. Yeah, I wouldn't harvest. Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't harvest from that either. Did you get in on the NOS whites by the way? I'm curious about it. I'm really curious about it. I don't remember who posted it on Desk Authority, but either way, I saw it and I jumped on, I don't know, like 275 or I think 275 of them. Okay, oof, pretty hefty. Pretty darn nice, guys. Okay, so okay. So I think I'm gonna put monochrome on this. I kind of like it. Yeah, the ones that came from Korea. They're pine. They're pine whites, and thanks, man. I think so too. Yeah, so they were pine whites, and they were they're actually NOS loose switches, like never before soldered switches. So they're not NOS like off of a brand new board. So I'm kind of excited about it. But either way, I am fairly certain that what I'm going to do, guys, is either put monochrome. I think monochrome. What do you guys think? Monochrome or white on black? That's kind of the options, the way I see it. I was like, that's a 2U shift. I don't want that. So, white on black or monochrome, which is white on black, but the alphas are black on white. I think I'm going to do monochrome. I believe that monochrome will look really good on this. That's just my 2 cents, I guess. I'm going to put control there. Well, you don't have one of those anyway. Leave this out because we're gonna want it. I'm gonna go get the board that it's on. The TKC 1800 with a bunch of fingerprints on it. Where is this keycap puller? That's what I want. If the switches from that are late pine switches, they have... Yeah, I'll let you know. I will absolutely let you know if that's what they were. Though I'm not trying to make you feel like you missed out. That's for sure. I really wish I had Solarized Dark, man, to put on this. I almost bought it recently, like really recently. It's pretty close to it. Yeah, this board is beautiful. Anybody that hasn't seen the Key Cult #2 teardown and rebuild video or whatever, might want to take a look at that, by the way. If you want to look at a really pretty board. Gucci, hey man, thanks for the 400 bits. That's awesome, dude. I appreciate it a lot. I really, really do. Really. That's awesome. There's a lot of really awesome folks in here. And thus the great bit war began. Hey, I mean, that's okay, I guess. That wouldn't bug me, but you guys don't have to war over me. We can be friends. I do appreciate the support, though, guys. It does help. Every little bit helps, right? Get them keys. I'm gonna need help to do all these GBs that are coming up this month. Man, this board feels awesome. Now that the caps are going on it too, oh, it seems pretty darn sweet. I think this is like, are these your control and alt? Yeah, they were. Feeling a little bit salty. Man, I'm gonna have to set up a leaderboard or something now, so that everybody knows where they stand in the bit rankings. There's a bunch of stuff I need to do for the stream. I think I'm gonna focus on that soon. I've started focusing on some of it, like setting up the social media accounts for it, so I can add those in. I need to get all that worked out because I want the stream to grow. I want to have good conversations with good people like you guys, and foster good community. I think it's important. I think there's a few people obviously doing it in our community, trying to help and make it better, to teach and show people what these builds are about and what's going on with it. And I think that's something I'm somewhat excited to be involved in. Oof, that feels really nice. Yeah, yeah, I'll get the music off in a minute and we can do that thing. So I think these are all... So which one is this? Let me pull this back up here. Okay, so let's so that's an insert key. So I think this is row 4 insert right there. No, it is not. Are we sure it's not? I think it is. Oh, it is. It is. Yeah, it is. Okay. And then this should be delete. Yes, okay, good. So that should be this delete. Correct. Page down. Gotta check. I don't build a lot of 65s. It's so hard to tell. Looks really close, if not perfect. So I guess we need to try the other page down. Or rather, another page down. This looks wrong. Definitely wrong. Tiny shiny crumb. Thank you. Thank all of you guys. Man, you guys are bitting me up. Oof. RESX, man, thank you. This is your board. You didn't have to cheer me bits. Thank you so much. I mean, nobody had to, but, you know, thank you, man. I do appreciate that. Okay, so anyway. Where's my end? This has got to be the right end key. Yep, okay, that's right. That's all right. Delete though. So hard to tell with the contrast because it's a black. Oh, it's definitely. That's right. Okay, here I'll show you guys. It's all the right one. No problem, man. That's what we're here for. That is what we are here for. Good, well-built boards that are awesome. Anyway, so this is built. This is complete. This is, honestly, this is the coolest 65% I know of. I am pretty happy with it. Can you... How often? I don't know. What keycap set are you planning on putting on this, I wonder? Oh, Gucci, man, thank you. Thank you for gifting a tier 1 sub, man. Thank you. And I'm happy that RESX is a sub now. Oh. Hey, you guys are really, really awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I am going to move this over to the main setup so that we can get some sound going, do a little typing sounds, a typing test, although I've been terrible the last couple weeks and I'm cold again typing. Like I haven't typed at all today, really. Anyway, I'm gonna move over and we can hear what this thing sounds like with the mic a little closer. And since we're done soldering and assembling, that's where I'm going. See you guys in just a second. All right, guys. Let's man, this very recessed Okay. Whew. And you guys are awesome. Setting up all of the setting up really all of this awesome bit war for me. Getting the bits flowing. Subs. Thank you. You guys have no idea how much that I appreciate that. I really do. But now, no, we're gonna pause that. Get some 10 fast fingers. So apparently, this is how I'm gonna do typing tests now in Firefox. I'm very much not a Firefox kind of guy. Not that I hate Firefox, just I'm more of a Chrome guy. Okay, so you know you're not too far from the keyboard. So let's listen to this though first, right? Hold on. Okay, check this. No rattle. No rattle to speak of. So this is a beautiful, crazy beautiful board, in my opinion. Let's see what we do on a typing test. So I'm gonna do this. Just FYI. Oh my gosh. That was terribad. Okay, let's try that again. Man, it's bad. Feels bad, guys. Feels bad. 57. Oof. Not typing for a few days, honestly. Actually, for a lot longer than that. Thank you guys so much for being here, participating. And honestly, thanks for being a part of this awesome board build. Look at this thing. Look at this. That thing is gorgeous. Gorgeous. Yeah, really. I'm gonna unplug it and actually show it off a little bit. Right? I mean, it's got some finger oils and lube stuff over it. I'll wipe it off, including your brass on the back. I like this part right here. The way it's screwed. I need to get backlighting apparently. This part right here though is what I'm talking about. Here. I know what I'm going to do, guys. I'm going to make this better. Okay. Here we go. That right there. The way those screws go in. I love that. It's gorgeous. It truly is. Anyway. Thank you guys so much, and it really is gorgeous, and it sounds amazing, honestly. You guys are real close to it right now, sound-wise, and I was really loud. I was kind of, you're really, really close. Anyway, it's great. It's a fantastic board. If anybody has any questions or wants to talk or plug anything, or, you know, now's the time, now's the place. All right. Well, I think that means that I'm going to go. Thanks for spending part of your Saturday with me. And I will catch you guys next time. I think the next time I build, though, will very likely just be my regular Wednesday night build. Although I'm contemplating adding more things in. I've said it before, but I'm thinking I might try to do one weekend day, either Saturday or Friday. I think I'm going to talk to some people and see what they think. And you guys should feel free to comment or drop lines in the chat. Does Saturday work best for you guys? Does Fridays? I don't know. There's other people who stream on Fridays and Saturdays and Sundays for that matter. So I'm trying not to like overlap a crazy amount, but I think if I correct, Nathan Kim probably was finishing up sometime around when I was starting, which is probably pretty good because it leads into more. I don't know if anyone else was streaming tonight though. But anyway, until next time. And the next board, last minute teaser, the next board is either going to be a clue board or it's going to be a Tex 60 in orange, which will be pretty good. I like it. I'm not really sure which one I'm going to do first. It kind of depends on some extra parts that one of the customers added last minute. And then once that's done, I'll do a, hey, thanks, I appreciate it. Appreciate the kind words, guys. And then I'm going to, after that, at some point, hopefully build a matching-ish keypad for this salamander. And then who knows? There's some other stuff down the pipe, but it's not 100% yet. Anyway, thank you guys very, very much. Have a great rest of your weekend. I'll catch you guys later.